The Fair Labor Standards Act, or FLSA for short, was signed June 25, 1938 by President FDR. Under the Fair Labor Standards Act, the first federal minimum wage was set at 25 cents per hour. The standard work week was also set to 44 hours per week, but this was later changed to 40 hours per week in 1940. The Fair Labor Standards Act also banned child labor. Children under age 14 were no longer legally allowed to work, with limited exceptions that included the agricultural industry. Over 20 amendments have been made to the FLSA. Most of these were made to increase the minimum wage. The minimum wage has gone from 25 cents to $7.25 as of 2009. The newest FLSA amendments and additions approved by Governor Jerry Brown on September 12, 2016 come in the form of Assembly Bill 1066. According to California State Legislative website, AB 1066 removes the exemptions for agricultural employees regarding hours, meal breaks, and other working conditions, including specified wage requirements. Phases and overtime requirements for agricultural workers from 2019 to 2022, and then, on January 1, 2022, it will require any work performed by an employee in the agricultural occupation in excess of 12 hours in one day to be compensated at the rate of no less than double the employee's regular rate of pay. This has huge consequences for many very important California crops. According to the U.S. Department of Food and Agriculture, strawberries are one of the top 5 most valuable crops in California. California produces upwards of 40,000 acres, or 88% of the total U.S. strawberry supply. This industry is largely dependent on manual labor to achieve the substantial level of output. According to a cost analysis done at Oregon State in 2014, the labor cost to harvest a 1-acre crop of fresh strawberries was $6,500. This makes out to about 36% of the crop's expected gross value. Assembly Bill 1066 has farmers concerned about how large increases to this substantial cost will affect their ability to remain profitable. The ultimate question is, how will producers react to the new regulations and amendments' expected impact on their strawberry farms' market efficiency, and will immigrant strawberry laborers see a positive net change in their equality?
With the goal of creating a more efficient production environment comes the challenge of maintaining and increasing equality. Arthur Okune's book, Equality and Efficiency, The Big Tradeoff, focuses on these issues. For immigrant workers, opportunities are scarce. Usually these people find themselves working whatever job they can get. Some of these immigrants have found their way to the Central Coast picking strawberries to provide for their family. In Okune's book, specifically in the section Equality of Opportunity, he points out much of the interest of sources of inequality reflects a conviction that economic inequalities that seem to be more intolerable than those that emerge even when opportunities are equal. Equality is rooted in the notion of a fair race where people are even at the starting line. Labor statistics back up the fact that immigrants have not been compensated equally. In 2015, the median usual weekly earnings of a foreign-born full-time worker were 80% of the earnings of their native-born counterparts. FLSA has been an attempt to create more equality. Many agricultural workers are immigrant. Overtime regulations that have been created are an effort to compensate workers for their back-breaking work. Provisions such as housing being provided to H-2A workers have made work slightly more desirable. Not many American-born citizens would want to work in a field all day picking strawberries.
For the Farm Labor Standards Act, there's an expected increase in litigation and lawsuits due to these hours and wages that are going to be added onto people's salaries. People are going to argue for more hours and wages, and there's just going to be this collateral damage done. So people are going to sue, and so that's a problem. It's supposed to promote equality amongst women, men, women, regardless of your race or gender or whatever, minorities included. This is a good thing for the bigger agricultural business. For smaller businesses, it's complicated because there's a limited amount of workers, there's fewer employees, tighter budgets, resulting in unexpected layoffs. According to Western growers, 78,000 jobs are going to be lost once this bill, the Farm Labor Standards Act is implemented. Also, in addition to this, there's increased labor costs in veggies. It's 46 to 55%, and in fruits, it's 58 to 73%, which is a pretty big increase, according to Paycor.com.
One adverse result from this is that farm employers may reduce production due to high wages, resulting in farm workers' income suffering. To avoid the high overtime pay, producers may split jobs. George Adam, the founder of the Initiative Produce and board member of Western Growers, speculates that employers will likely be sharing laborers with other producers in the area.
The new FLSA amendment, they plan on increasing equality for workers, documented and undocumented, by increasing pay and requiring overtime payment for the workers. This, in return, will create a decrease in efficiency for farms. But with new farm planning and labor management, we believe there will be a decrease in equality and an increase in efficiency. Farmers plan on exchanging their workers with other farmers to increase efficiency and to avoid the increase in pay. With this, we'll see an increase in worker abuse than we see now, and that this amendment may actually make it worse for workers. While the goal is sound in trying to help workers and deserving the pay that they get, this amendment will most likely not do so. Farmers have extremely high labor costs, and they're not willing to pay more for their workers. Therefore, worker management will increase farmer efficiency, and they must become more efficient to avoid these increasing labor costs. So, farms will most likely become more efficient